Peace, positivity, love, and prosperity. It is Saturday, the 13th of April, 2024. It's your boy, Cancer Cannabis. I was supposed to have a guest today for the third time, and I ain't gonna lie, they ain't make it. And I am feeling some type of way. But it is whatever, because the very first time I was all like, the very first time I had to do this alone, I was super tripping out. I was like, what am I going to talk about? I have nothing to talk about, this, and that. Nah, I actually do. I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to say, actually. And not in an opinionated way, but, just more on, the clothing brand. Because if a lot of you might have forgotten, but I do have my clothing brand thing going on, the Union Label. I've been at it since 2015. I've started off with hats, and then started doing shirts. And I had to put it on pause for a bit because, not too many people know. It's just more so like close people around me. A couple years ago, I ended up getting a DUI, and that shit was a huge setback. I'm not gonna lie. Like, whenever you have a clothing brand or a business that you're running and you end up getting in trouble, especially in legal and financial trouble, that shit fucks you up. And it wasn't only just a DUI. Today's also the 5th anniversary of one of my friends passing away. And he was a real close friend of mine. He was younger than me by a year. And he was a big brand representative, man. Rest in peace, my boy YZ. Peace, positivity, love, and prosperity. We are the 99, on the 99, going 99. You guys hear me say that in the beginning of the podcast because that was my slogan. My slogan personally was we are the 99, on the 99, going 99. What that means is we are the 99% on the 99 freeway, going in 99 miles per hour, because we were always on it. I grew up on that fucking 9 to 5 type shit. Very foolish of me. Because once I got a 9 to 5, that was the fucking best thing that happened to me. It wasn't no 9 to 5. It was some long hour type shit, but it was pretty good. But today's the 5-year anniversary of that. Next year's 10-year anniversary of the brand. So, with all that got put together, a DUI, friends getting murdered, all kinds of shit, it piled up on me. I had to stay back. And I did, stay away from social media for about 2 to 3 years. And today, I was reflecting on it. That's crazy. We are only 3 minutes in. I'm over here about to get all deep and emotional and shit. And I ain't even gonna lie, right here in the studio, right now it's just me, So the very first time it was me, I was like, how the fuck am I gonna talk this, and that? But you know what? I have a lot that has been bottled in, and for the most part on all these interviews, it's been me asking people, but I still haven't been interviewed myself yet. But what better place to do it than here on my own platform, because that's, I didn't create this for myself. I created this to highlight people here in the city that are doing something. For those that don't know, I am out of Bakersfield, California. For the past 2 years, in the summertime, I take off and go work in Washington, in the Pacific Northwest, somewhat by Seattle. So even out there, the culture out there is pretty dope. And, I just want to do something, because when I was out there in Seattle, I was tapping in with a lot of the podcasters that were out here in Cali, and even though people love to talk shit about Bakersfield, when I was out there in Washington, it was nothing like here at home, So out here we have a bunch of talent, we have a lot of people that are talented, even here in Bakersfield, So I just wanted to highlight that. And I've already, in total, I've done like about 30 episodes or so. I did 17 on the other one, and then, not even close to 30, and then 8 on this one. This would be episode 8 on my single one. And, shit's pretty dope. At first, I was, like I mentioned this, I did not see me doing this alone, but here we are. We made it this far. And even though the guest didn't make it today, the show must go on. You feel me? So, yeah. Somebody hit me up earlier this week. You know, I have two friends that had podcasters. One of them is the homegirl Lily. She had the Slut Chronicle podcast. And another one is a homeboy Predict with the Pórtese Bien podcast. You know, I'm very lucky that, you know, if I ever have any questions on what they did or what route they should take on anything podcast related, I tap in with them. And, you know, I know everybody this week ended up seeing that viral moment with Lefty Gunplay and another podcast. And, you know, what's crazy about that is that they kind of want to blame it on the shrooms, right? And all I have to say on that is it's not the shrooms' fault. I don't blame it at the shrooms whatsoever. I've seen that podcast before, and it's not the first time that guy has gone like that with his guest. And, you know, I even watched yesterday his reaction to his own shit. And one thing that stuck out was he said that, you know, they've been doing this for about 3 to 4 years, and that they've done so much positive things for the community, which I know is true. But it's only the viral moment. The only viral moment that they get is when they crash out. And that stuck out a lot to me because, you know, self-sabotage has been something that has been brought up to light. A lot of people don't realize, you know, crashing out is sabotage. A lot of people just can't handle success or are scared of it, so they crash out, and I think that's what it was, you know. But back to the subject is, you know, I don't think he should be blaming the shrooms, you know, because there's a lot of podcasters that I do watch that be shrooming out and be having guests and all that, and they don't act like that, you know. So I just think he should he did apologize, but, you know, just stop blaming the shrooms too, you know, because it's not just the alcohol, it's not just the shrooms, it's on a personal level. I've seen other podcasters get real drunk and not act like that. I've seen other podcasters get real shroomed out and not act out like that. So yeah, and it's crazy, you know, because this situation really blew up. I actually watched it live. I had Kenny Thunderberg here on my podcast that I interviewed, and he stays tapped in. He added me on a group chat, and on that group chat, everybody started blowing it up when Lefty was on, you know, because it was Lefty and Lucky. And so I tuned in and I watched it live, and I couldn't believe it because I actually tapped in towards the end, which is when all that bullshit happened, and I was like, no, mames. It made them look bad. It's crazy how a lot of people are saying, oh, it makes us look bad, it makes us look bad. Nah, it just makes them look bad. And, you know, what tripped me out even more, and this is actually what I didn't like about this, is there was a lot of people that were reacting to it. And I'm not gonna lie, I tapped in on the black folks' reaction to it. And I liked that they did reaction videos to it. I liked that they had input on this Chicano rap, Chicano podcaster feud. You know, because it used to be something that was so small. I would never in my life have imagined that there would be black people reacting to Chicano issues like that. You know, even though it makes us look bad and all that, or makes them look bad, you know, it got their opinion and it got out there, you know. So, yeah. Shout out to Smash Bars. Right now, I remember I ended up getting a sample of one of their taffies that they're making. And you know what? Speaking of shrooms and edibles, all my listeners, to the very few people that tap in, the very important few people that do tap in and listen, this is the exclusive right here. I'm going to actually try one. This is going to be like a review. Oh, shit. Matter of fact, I was actually supposed to be recording this on my own through my phone. Let's see. You know what? That's good. This is what's good because, all right, right now I am paying for studio time. You know, if the guest was to have shown up, I would have gave my full attention to them. But since I am here right now, I can fuck around. This is me time. This is my episode now. You know, so let's see. Shit. Let me see. Let me try to fuck around with the fuck rounds. Nah. You know what? I'm gonna end up doing this. Just gonna end up killing my fucking my battery. I'm gonna end up fucking up. Let's see. Hey, fuck it. Hey, but you know what? I started it. So on the video, on the audio right now, it's on 10 minutes 56. But right now recording it's at like 20 seconds. So if we can somehow sync up the audio time, right now I'm looking at the audio time. It's 11:05 and it's at 25 seconds on the camera. But on the audio, it's at currently 11:10. So back to where we're at. But bam, let's get back to it. I'm gonna do a review. This is a sample that I ended up getting from Smash Bars of their taffy. It's not the first one I tried. I tried one last week and it had me fucked up. This tastes like apple pie. How y'all make a taffy taste like apple pie? Not like the Vela, but tasting like apple pie. And I ended up eating this shit last week. And that shit had me fucked up. Matter of fact, this whole week I was on a rosin binge. I ended up getting a shitload of rosin from Killer Cali Melts. And it was fucking fire. I ain't gonna lie. All week I ended up not doing shit. That's how I've been self-sabotaging lately. I've ended up self-sabotaging and just not doing shit. Because for the longest time I used to fuck around, get in trouble driving, all this shit. But the DUI just, you know, it made me not mobile anymore. So I calmed my shit down. I fuck with this. So the way I describe it, it's okay for my audio listeners. So it's like a taffy. But it's not like the Wonka taffies because those are the ones that I'm used to. This is like the natural taffy. It has like apple notes, cinnamon notes, which is fucking crazy because I don't think I ever had that in my life. I would say it's like guayaba, but I don't think it is because this would be like an apple pie tasting guayaba. But I fucks with this. I know you guys have seen that shit with that Chinese baseball player. I don't know his name. I can't pronounce it. This who ended up his first home run that he did on the Dodgers, right? A lady caught it. They finessed her out of it. She should have kept that shit, but nah, they're like, hey, let us come talk to you over here. And they finessed the ball out of her, man. She fumbled the bag. They gave her a signed bat and some other shit. And this is on top of on him or his partner or what you call it, like his accountant, his assistant, getting caught up for having all that or for doing some gambling. You know, they want to start saying that he ended up taking this whose identity, all this bullshit. But if you guys know, you know. So yeah. A lot of my clothing brand shit, you know, it's been at a pause. Right now, a spot where you can find it at currently in the dispensary shops because that's where a lot of my clothing brands where my beginning started, man. I ended up fucking starting off this clothing brand shit just back when the NWA movie came out. I always thought them Compton hats looked dope, right? But I'm not from Compton. I'm from Bakersfield. I'm from Union. From Union. And yeah, I ended up making a dozen Union hats and they ended up selling. So after them Union hats, I ended up doing a shirt collab. And that shirt collab, my very first one, was with my boy from Lamont. I don't know right now. It's not the rosin that kicked in. I was already high beforehand, but the Stick Ups brand from Lamont. First shirt we ever did, the collab shirt, was the Don't Panic, It's Organic, and on that one, that shirt ended up taking me a lot of places. It ended up opening a lot of doors for me. I would end up a couple times. I went to the Union Swap Meet and I sold my shirts there. And then there was also the Customer Appreciation Days at Highway 99. And they would always bring famous people over, whether it would be background actors or rappers or YouTube famous people. They would always bring people over, and a dope memory that I have, or two memories, is on 4/20, 2018. Literally all day, kicked it with Devin the Dude, the rapper. Devin the Dude is a icon. This was a legend, and kicked it all day with him. And it was even cool that whenever he wanted, like everybody around him was drinking and shit, his preferred now it's different. Because back then it was like, oh, what a humble, modest guy. But this was drink of choice, was Bud Light. Everybody was offering him Modelos and Pacifico and Michelob Ultra. He's like, nah, I want some Bud Light. And after him being over there all day, there was another dude named Roy. And Devin the Dude just randomly looks over at Roy. He's like, hey, man, you think you take me to the gas station? I want to go get some beer. And he's like, well, I'll go get the beer for you. Don't even trip. He's like, nah, I'm trying to go. And the owner of Highway 99 is like, you sure you want to go? We can get you some beers, whatever. He's like, yeah, I just want to get up out of here real quick. And this one got in Roy's ride, bro. Fucking just went to the AMPM real quick to pick up some brewskis. So that shit was dope. It was that experience, and then another one was Tommy Chong. Tommy Chong ended up walking past my booth, and I still don't have a lot of merchandise. I only have a little bit here and there, and currently my merchandise is over there at 3809 Wilson Road at Blow Some Gas. But yeah, anyways, back to the Customer Appreciation Day that they had Tommy Chong over. I had a booth set up out front, and I had Locus Luciano. He has some of his merchandise. He had his Retarded Bastard line out, which is the name of his clothing line, Retarded Bastard. And Tommy Chong walked up to us. He looked at my shirts, and then he saw Locus shirts. He saw like Retarded Bastard. He just chuckled. And me and fucking Locus, we were all fanned out, geeked out. We were like, what? So we really walked up over here to the booth and checked out our merch. And not only that, but that day, one of the customers ended up, he had his drink on my booth, and I politely asked him if he could take it off. He said, oh, no, nothing will happen. So I didn't want to make a big deal about it. I was like, all right. And next thing you know, he spilled his fucking drink and ruined some of my merch. And of course I was mad, but I was trying to play it off like I wasn't, like it was an honest mistake. But I seen it coming. And this guy, he had a 12-inch Cheech and Chong record. Hey, he handed it over. And you know what? I have a record player, and I already have a Cheech and Chong. I had a 45, and that one it's called Earache My Eye. It was the scene from where Cheech and Chong end up, or where Cheech ends up putting on like a mini skirt and a Mickey Mouse hat. I had that on 45. So yeah, whenever this one ends up ruining some of my merch, after I warned him to get his drink off of my booth, he offers me the record. I don't know if he thought I wasn't gonna take it, but I was like, yeah, I'll take it, because he didn't buy none of my merch, and then he ruined it. Like, yeah, I need some kind of compensation. So yeah, I got that that record, and then I had Tommy Chong sign it. So that was a pretty fucking cool day. I ain't gonna lie. Having Tommy to sign my record and him coming up to my booth, And you know, I'm not even gonna lie. Ever since COVID, there hasn't really been too many weed events or nothing, but they have a weed event coming up that I want to check out. And you know, I'm still not driving, so I doubt I'll be able to have my booth over there. And even if I did, man, I just right now I don't have the merch. I'm running low on merch, so shout out to everybody that's been tapping in. I know I don't always do the best at promoting myself, but I'm working on it. Lately, I've been spreading myself out thin. Like, if you guys know that I wasn't posting for like about 2 or 3 years. And, you know, I'm readjusting. Now I'm posting on my personal page. I'm posting on my union page. And I'm posting on the podcast page. And that shit is wearing me out thin. I'm not even going to lie. Because I went from not posting shit to now I'm like posting on 3 different pages and I'm checking all the notifications. I'm even going back to the point where I'm not checking it. And that's not good. That's not good for business. It's not good for personal friendships. It's just not good because it starts giving that impression that like if you're too good. I feel like it just gives a bad impression. Like if you don't have time for them, but yeah, you're doing all kinds of shit. Which is sometimes fine. Sometimes, you know, you'll have too much to do and you can't get back to people in time. It just is what it is. You know, it's crazy. This is my episode and it is me alone. But I like interacting. I like having people tap in. I like having a conversation. I don't really like talking a lot, especially about myself. I feel like at that point that's humble bragging. You know, even you could be pretty modest and tell your story and all that, but in the end I just feel like it just comes off as humble bragging. I got 23 minutes in that I've been talking about myself. I'm like, alright, I'm good. But yeah, nah. I was gonna go in depth. I'm gonna go in depth with my nickname. So, as far as now, you guys could actually see because I'm trying to fucking I'm trying to record for once, trying to see if I could do this shit from my phone, right? I seen people pull it off, and I'm gonna have the homeboy, the chief editor, director, and staff, Von Vector, you know, like, do the thing. But yeah, man, we've been having this motherfucking studio. Cause look it, I'm comfortable when I'm right here just speaking and it was on audio, but nah, I need to keep on elevating. I ended up seeing another podcast that said, how are we gonna take you serious if we still can't even see you? And that shit had me. I wonder if they be tapping into my podcast and just like, you know, hearing some shit here and there and you know, cause it is true. It is true. It like my goal with this podcast shit, I already told you guys, is just to highlight the local people, but it's beyond the local people. Look at Dante Price, and then look at the other homeboy that got out of the feds. He's out there in Texas. You know, like, besides the local people, I have a lot of friends that ended up moving out. My bad, the camera's right here, and I'm fucking looking into the mic like if it's some audio shit again. But, you know, one thing that I'm going to let known is I am not a one-man band. And I have been spreading myself out thin. I have. And I'm just letting it be known. Because it's not like I have a team behind me or anything. No, I have a producer by my side. But, you know, I'm lucky to have him. You know, and they're busy. He's busy all the time, too. So I'm not going to be over here expecting him to, like, give me his undivided attention and shit. Like, I'm coming at a point where I'm at the crossroads where this podcast shit is starting to take up my time, which is fine. I need a hobby. I need some shit to do. But I also need people to interview. I need people to tap in. Otherwise, it would just be me talking it'll be me talking, and I'm not the most. I am pretty interesting, I ain't gonna lie, but I get tired of hearing myself talk. I get tired of trying to do it all, you know? Having to remind myself, like, hey, you're on camera now. Having to remind myself of, there's all kinds of shit. I'm not gonna be here all bitching and complaining. But yeah, nah, I'm just tripping out because look at this shit, guys. It's a fucking studio. This shit has been here for a while. It's been here for a while. And I still haven't done no video. I was saying, look at this shit. My bad, back to my audio viewers and my audio listeners. I was saying, look at this shit, and I was showing the background. So the background for my audio listeners, it's some generic leaves and some styrofoam, because next door we have a business, and they be bumping music, which is fine. I love music. Only bad side about it is all these copyright shits and everything that YouTube's doing. You know, I can't play no background music or nothing without getting a copyright. You know, because they be playing corridos, they be playing some trap shit. Cool shit. And I fucks with it. I wish I could fucking, you know, like, turn up some corridos, some trap shit, but that sucks. Hey, you know what? I always feel like by YouTube doing that, I feel like that's infringing on my rights, brother. Like, how the fuck could we not? I feel like that's almost freedom of speech, but I do understand, you know, that's like you're profiting off them with their money, you know? So, yeah. That shit's crazy, man. Florida Jesus, I want an interview, bro. I need that interview. I want to know if you really are from Florida. You know, and what are you doing here in Bakersfield? And also props to you, bro, because I know a couple people that have tried going viral, tried doing something local here, and they haven't been able to pop it off. And instead of them trying to advance and work at getting better, they just want to blame the town and be like, Bakersfield's not good, everybody here sucks, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, here comes somebody from out of state to our humble little old town. And this guy, he's going to all kinds of community events. He's doing giveaways. He's doing all kinds of shit that I feel like people here should have been doing. But we're having somebody from outside doing it. So I'm very interested in who you are, bro. You know? I hope I get to interview you one day. You know, have that podcast, have that sit down. Honestly, I wish everybody I would have interviewed, I would have already been doing it with camera. But I ain't gonna lie. I am camera shy. I don't get stage fright, because I could go out in the stage and do some shit, but I guess it's some shit with the camera. Not only that, but I've never been one to, like, I'll say out here doing music videos. I need to quit fidgeting. I'm out here playing tech deck with the SD thing. I'm over here tech decking it. I know you OGs remember that. I have actually found my old tech deck board the other day. It's a blind. You know, I had Melt, the tagger, here last time. This is what he be tech decking. I also see my boy Dab Bustamante tech decking like a motherfucker. You know what's crazy, man? That rosin shit be hitting, man. Hey, and I fucks with low budget rosin. I don't care what all these bougie hype beast fools want to say. Like, bro, I'm personally not no hype beast. I'm not super bougie. I didn't grow up in a gated community, fucking west of the 99 out there. You know, like, I can't always afford the cream of the crop. Sometimes I'll be on my budget shit, and to be honest, I'll be on that BHO because I get it. And I'll say not because that's all I could afford, but I get it for free. A mí me lo regalan. And I wish I was like that with rosin, but yeah, I can't afford the cream of the crop. But I was able to get a good deal on a quarter. and that shit had me fucked up all weekend. I just ran out of it, and I'm back on my BHO shit. And now I see what all the fuss is about. After smoking nothing but rosin for a whole week, not just a gram, not just fucking 2 grams or an eighth. Like, nah, this was a quarter. A quarter lasted me about a week. You know, a gram a day. And I fuck with it. I needed that change of terps because I've been smoking the same strain for a while. Some Romulan, some Gary Payton on BHO, but yeah. You know, I'm 29, about to be 30. I've been smoking weed since I was 14. I would have thought that I would have been over smoking weed already. I would have thought that would have had my own house, a family, kids, and all that bullshit. But hey, it is what it is. You know, the fact that I'm here and alive and free, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to God. You know, because not everybody could say that shit. And I really mean that. I've seen a couple friends die, man. It's not just the one I mentioned earlier, man. I went through a year where it was back to back, and that's just crazy because, you know, as you get older, that's all that happens. You just see more and more people die, and I could just imagine the old people. You know, they seen a lot of family members die and shit like that, and like that's the crazy part about life. Like, as you get older, you just see people die, and that's if you're lucky enough to see everybody else around you dying, you know? I'm over here getting all sad and fucking philosophical and shit. This is why I don't like being by myself. Fucking, I feel like this is how crazy people must feel like. Like, if you're a crazy person, you'll be perfect for a podcast by yourself. Because you could hold a conversation by yourself and just fucking keep it going and going and going. But I'm not like that. I like being engageful. I like listening to other people's stories, you know, asking them questions. I don't necessarily like getting asked questions, because with a lot of this podcast shit, I'm peeping game, man. And some of this shit is people love to stir the pot and fucking be controversial. They think that that's all the podcast is about. It's about fucking doing that. And I beg to differ. I don't think so. I think, you know, every podcast is different. Every host is different. You know, how your hospitality is different. I'll say your house, your setup, your studio. Everyone's different. And, you know, the direction I want to head with this is just... I want to be on that positive shit. I don't want to be on no controversy. Fucking. You already seen how it happened with this fool. He thought it was gonna go his way and it didn't. Or maybe it did go his way, because some people regard this views as views, clout is clout. But I'm not after that, man. What I am after is creating memories, making history, leaving my mark. You know, interviewing people that are on some shit. You know, business owners, artists, and all kinds of shit. I ain't gonna lie. You know, usually whenever I'm doing this, like in a pure audio version, I have a more smoother flow, I feel like. But now I got the camera on me, so I'm realizing, like, I'm over here stretching and kicking back and all that. I'm like, oh fuck, don't do that, fool. I'm on camera. Don't be getting too comfortable. I was comfortable doing it pure audio like that because my facial expressions show what the fuck I feel, and it happens like that without me wanting to. I wear my expressions on a sleeve, or I don't know, I guess that's how they say it. But yeah, even right now, I'm forgetting there's a camera in front of me, because this might be my first episode where I do it recording. if we could pull this shit off, and I could, end up doing it with my cell phone, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I say that because sometimes people think that they need the latest iPhone, the latest 4K quality, this and that. Nah, all you need son las ganas. Si tienes las ganas, man, you can pull this shit off. Y yo sí tengo las ganas, man, but también me hace falta trabajar. I need a job, bro. I can't pull off this podcast shit without a job or without contributions by viewers like you. Thank you. You know? Imagine, bro, start fucking being like one of them fools. Be like, hey, donate on my podcast. Nah. Because I've seen people do that and nobody sends it in. And like I mentioned, I've seen successful podcasters talk about how even though they got thousands of views and might even have millions, they still don't have it. What one of my podcast mentors mentioned to me, because he was asking me what my goal was with this podcast shit, and I was over here talking about the city and this and that. He told me his goal was getting monetized, and that's where I should refocus my goal. You know, my goal is getting monetized with my podcast. You know, whether that be commercials, whether that be me setting up a web page or a link on the description with the web page where I could end up shipping my clothing and all that, because that would be my merch. You know, my merch for this podcast would be clothing. You know, it would be Union label clothing brand. I would end up doing something with this podcast, but it's all in due time, man. Rome wasn't built in one day. I can't be having all these fucking big plans if I'm only on my 7th episode and only on my first video. You know? Because I ain't gonna lie. What if this only gets 1 view? Or the opposite. What if this gets thousands of views and I'm not even ready for that? You know? Because it could happen that way too. Because one of the... Not to say that I'm out here self-sabotaging or nothing, but one of the things that people do is they'll be afraid of success. I'm not afraid of success, man, but I'm not too familiar with it either. If that makes any sense. So, in the long term, do I see me doing this podcasting? Yes. I see me having more having co-hosts, first of all. I see me having co-hosts that have their own shows or their own segments, you know, and even having different topics, like having somebody that covers, even though I don't like politics, right? Someone that covers politics, someone that covers sports, someone that covers current and local events. You know, I cannot do it all, but I'd like to, man. Like I said, I'm doing this clothing shit, this podcast shit, and I'm readjusting to getting my life together. After going through a couple years back to back, like I'm just, these past 2 years that I did have that job out in Washington, it was the best. I would get flown out there by the company. They would end up paying my hotel. They'd end up paying the room and board. I'd get paid $20 an hour, and I'd get a per diem of $280 a week. If I could end up finding that again, you know, and it doesn't even have to be with the company I was, you know, because, you know, I'd be out, not that I'd be out there right now, but it's because it's seasonal work. You know, I wish there was more, I wish I could land a job where I would get flown out of my city for maybe a month or 2 at a time. Could be less. I'd get the plane tickets covered. I'd get the motel covered. Room and board, per diem. I want that again. Because I'm not gonna lie. Once I had that, I felt like my life was on track. I felt like I didn't need no clothing brand. I didn't need no podcast. Like the clothing brand and podcast, I'm really doing it to keep me busy. Because if I'm not busy, I'm just gonna end up losing my mind. Fuck it. Not doing shit. which is what I don't want to be. I don't want to be one of those people that ends up not doing shit and very complacent and comfortable with their life. Because I know a lot of people like that, and that shit's sad. That shit, that lastima, way. You ever see somebody with no ambition? It's okay to be mad at yourself. It's okay to be mad at yourself because you're not where you want to be, but don't let it kill you either. For a while, I was mad at myself, you know? What I'm learning is patience because you can't rush time. I used to want to rush everything, rush the process. You can't do that shit. You could only trust it. I didn't think I was going to be pulling out this podcast bullshit. And in reality, it wasn't supposed to be a one guy thing. You know, it was, the planning for this shit happened over a year. Over a year planning it, this and that. But in a short span of time, you know, just because other people can't, how would I say this? Just because other people can't stick to the program, or can't stick to a schedule, does not mean that I'm gonna stop, you know, because shit's gonna get done with or without them. But now's the hard part. Shit's gonna get done with or without them by yourself, you know. This is almost like, I would say like a recruiting video. I'm like, We Are the 99 podcast wants you. Nah, but I'm open to it, you know? I'm open to it because, doing it alone is not the business for me right now. But I could pull it off. I'm down for it. You know, I just need to get used to it. But what does make it easier is having guests that stick to a schedule and make it on time. You know, if I have you scheduled down and we have you down on the calendar and we give you the time and all that, and you don't make it, you know, the show goes on because, yes, you know, we got the studio right here, but that doesn't mean that I'm not in a place of business, that I'm not charged hourly, that I'm not amongst other professionals, you know, because I am, you know, and I need to conduct myself like that. I can't just, like, do this shit whenever I want and go as long as I want and smoke up in here and party up in here. Like, nah. And now that I see, like, other people fuck their shit up because they want to be party animals and shit, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful, you know, you got to be professional. And that was a goal from the get-go, too. It was for me to become more professional. Because I ain't even gonna lie. You guys notice? I try to speak with a little bit of a professional demeanor, professional manner. I'm not out here just... I was cussing up a storm like a sailor, but, you know, I try to conduct myself a little bit professional. When I used to do this, just audio, I was chilling. But, you know, with video, I do feel the pressure. And I'm even wondering, like, fuck, if I even want to post up this episode, because I'm nervous. I'm nervous this whole time right now. You know? Hey, not only that, but I'm vulnerable. You know, I'm letting y'all see me. Because for the longest time I was like, fuck that. I'm good with just audio. You know, but I'll tell y'all this. You know how I told you guys about George Perez and the 3-Plates Tommy and XG coming out here? On some behind the scenes shit, they were going to be down to come out here in my podcast. Until I mentioned the fact that I don't have a camera. That shit, they didn't like that, you know? And then not only that, but I told them, like, hey, you know what? I got a cameraman. Like, I was able to make it happen. But just the fact that I didn't have it from the get-go, you know, he said, how are people going to see it? I said, well, people listen to it, you know, and George Perez, he has his podcast that's been going on a while. He has it all by video. If you guys don't know, George Perez has his podcast. He started doing it I wouldn't say because Joey Diaz did it, but George Perez and Joey Diaz used to, or did their own shit. But they kind of ended up getting that idea from Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan did his thing, and then Joey Diaz did, and then George Perez. I like the way that they have it. I like comedy podcasts more than fucking rapper and drama podcast. You know, and gang fucking podcast, because that's one thing I don't want to have on this shit. No gang shit, no rap shit. Rap and gang shit brings a lot of drama. Like, a lot of unnecessary fucking drama. Like, that studio gangster shit, you know? So, nah, I'd rather interview a corrido person. I'd rather interview a jazz person, a rock person. But that doesn't mean one day I'm not going to have any rappers on. You know? I'm just gonna... It's hard, man. I feel like a lot of rappers have drama. And especially if they're popping. Which is like crazy because some of these fools, I feel like they're a gimmick. Like they le buscan drama in order to get popping. But yeah, enough about all this rap shit and music shit. I'm over here saying that, and then I look over at that. I look over at Pac. But yeah, nah, this shit. His room at one point. Okay, that's another reason why I didn't have the camera. At one point, this room, it was full with all of these, but they're gone now. You know, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty awesome to fucking see this room full, and then like as I started coming little by little, it started disappearing. You know, I was over here saying, "Oh, we're sponsored by Beatbox." Speaking of sponsors, sponsored in part by Union Label, the one and only. You know, go get your shirts at 3908 Wilson Road. Blow some gas over there. Also to Palmer Seating and Air. And to Big T's Kitchen out in Santa Maria. Boom. So I was checking out the analytics. I have people in the UK and in Canada tapping in, which trips me out because I would have thought I would have just had people from, and Australia, which I think I know who the Australian person is. Someone from Bakersfield, believe it or not. Yeah, that shit's crazy. I thought I would have just been having like, I was over here like, all right, let me do this nationally. I'm gonna be doing shit in Texas, Washington, Oklahoma. But nah, man. I'm like getting some viewers in Canada and what the fuck I say? Canada, UK, and Australia. What the fuck? Damn, mate. Shout out to all my brubs out there. That was fucking cringe, bro. Hey, my bad about that. I got 10 minutes left. Got 10 minutes left, and then my hour's up. Damn. I got a lot on my mind. This is the second episode I do by myself. The very first one, I was a fucking nervous wreck. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I feel like this second episode, it was the same way, but it went a little bit more easier. I had, different topics and shit. But I'm fucking scared putting up this video. I ain't gonna lie. If it goes up, because it might not. The audio for sure is gonna go up, but this is my first time trying to record with the phone and having the homie do that. So I'm excited. Not only that, but the editing got done fast last time, which fucking that's always exciting. And I'd like to apologize for slacking on the edits that I'm supposed to be doing myself. Not that I haven't had time, but like I've told you guys, I was fucked up off of rosin all week. And that's no excuse. That's no fucking excuse. I feel like I need to start drinking coffee. I was for a while, but I ain't gonna lie. I be sipping tea. I don't spill tea. I sip it. You know, I've been doing a lot of fucking iced tea at home for the first time. Because I'm not gonna lie, I grew up just drinking mostly aguas frescas and Kool-Aid. But nah, your boy started making some iced tea. That's just cool. That shit's fucking cool. You know, especially if you ain't never made that shit before. I grew up always on the Marizonas. So for cheaper than the Arizona, I make some fresher shit with no high fructose corn syrup, you know? I ain't even gonna lie, I'm out here from Bakersfield, right? I haven't grown weed in 2 years. Not to say that like I was a big ass weed grower or nothing, but I was always involved in it somehow, some way. Whether it be fucking gardening or trimming. And I haven't done that in the past 2 years. Tell me why. I got me some corn. Maíz. I got me some maíz to try to sembrar out here. This season is going to be the first season that your boy Cancer Cannabis 661 might turn into Cancer Corn 661. Cancer Maíz 661. Nah, but, you know, if I fucked around and I know how to fucking grow some weed, indoor, outdoor, hydro, soil, cocoa, let me fuck around. Let me see if I could fucking grow some maíz like my grandparents and parents used to do. Let me see if I could, you know, do that. I want to learn how to fucking grow my own maíz. Do my own tortillas and shit. Nah, but you know, it's pretty cool. Like, I don't want to lose track of my roots. I don't know if that's what it is, but I don't know. Have y'all ever got the sudden urge of the cultura to fucking sembrar maíz? Hey, and it's not to say this is a Bakersfield thing, because I don't know nobody else out here growing corn. I'm the first one, like Soldier Boy. You feel me? I'm the first one in the field growing corn. Nah, but amongst my generation, not even. Keep it around right now. I'm not even far in the process, man. I'm just germinating them bitches, and only like a couple of them even sprouted, so that's to see if they even fucking grow later on. Imagine that's gonna be one of my biggest regrets, telling y'all I'm trying to grow corn. Imagine somebody out there like, hey fool, where your corn at? Where your corn at? And I ain't got no corn. Like, I ain't got no corn, bro. I got this bud right here. Bet I got some weed. Yeah. You know what? I could pull off this podcast shit more on the audio shit. I be looking at myself. I be looking at myself as I'm talking. I'm like, nah, I don't know what. Just something about seeing myself just makes me awkward, bro. Not to say that I'm an awkward person, but I don't do good behind the camera. I never really was one to like go on live or none of that shit. I have been going live lately with Fat Dad Bastard out there from Ontario and Hanzo Seed Company. Matter of fact, today is Free Seed Day. Shout out my boy Rasta. He's going out there. Bro, there's a bunch of people out there. I can't even say exactly where it's at. You know, because I'm not going to be lying saying like, oh, I looked into it, I wanted to go. Because, no, I knew I was going to be busy this weekend. But that's just cracking that they're going to be having Free Seed Day over there. That a bunch of people are going to go over there at Network. Hey, I'm glad this is on camera. Right now that I just like looked over and tilted my eyes, I feel the gummy kicking in. I'm about to have a Hoodstocks moment. It's not an awkward moment. It's not an awkward moment. But nah, that moment where you feel the edible kick in, but you coming to the end of the podcast, sheesh. Saved by the bell. Before y'all start seeing me all shirtless in here. Yeah. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm looking at. Got the Hot Wheels over there. Got the lights. You know, I actually telling y'all, we got the studio set up. It's just for the longest times, I was saying, oh, we don't have a camera, but I have a fucking iPhone, you know, so. And not only that, but the studio didn't get completely set up because some technical difficulties. But I think I'm past that already. I think we're just going to go ahead and finish it up. But the next fucking little hill that I got to climb is keeping this bitch up and running. And it's hard to do that shit when you don't got no money coming in. I'm not trapping. The only fucking thing I got going on right now as far as finances coming in is my shirts, which I've been fucking up on and not advertising, you know, because like I said, from clothing brand to this shit, and I don't even have a job right now. It's spreading me thin. But I feel like I need a job in order to keep this bitch running. You know, so Thug Life. Hey, you know what? I got this camera running. I'm gonna end up having my Snapchat. Fuck that. I'm gonna have my Cash App up pretty soon, and my Apple Pay. You know, in case anybody wants to fucking shoot $1, shoot $3, shoot $5 to the podcast just to fucking keep it running. You know, keep me motivated. Or if you don't even got no money, you know how you gonna keep me motivated? Give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share. Damn, I'm professional, man. Fucking. This has been your boy Cancer Cannabis for episode number 8 of the We Are the 99 podcast. We'll be signing out, man. But last words is peace, positivity, love, and prosperity. We are the 99. I'm the 99, boy 99. The happiness starts with a smile away.